Wish they could work shorter hours. At football, Chelsea and Arsenal made it 2 wins out of 2 in the Champions League last night. Chelsea were 2-0 winners over Marseille at the Stamford Bridge. Arsenal beat a flood-lit failure to win 3-1 away to Partizan Belgrade in Serbia. Manchester United, Tottenham and Rangers are all in action tonight. That is the latest. I'm Ursula Hansford.
Hello and welcome. This is the first show of Widisith and Deor Present, a new fortnightly show for phonic events. We are Widisith and Deor Theatre, who do storytelling and are comprised of S.V. Wolfland, performance poet, writer, editor, etc., otherwise known as Widisith, myself, and Matthew Hammond, the stand-up philosopher, aka Deor. And we'll be focusing on storytelling, ancient poetry, local history, medieval dance music and other curios, and featuring items from time to time about local food and interviews with people researching, performing or involved with interesting things in and around Exeter and Devon. And we'll also be having some regular slots, such as fortnightly episodes of our novel Porlock the Warlock, featuring the 10th century Exeter book, more of which in a few moments, and perhaps some other things. Right.
Can I give a top cooking tip to start off with?
Oh,
At
definitely.
the moment, best apples, Jupiter. So if you're wondering about what apples to buy, you buy in Widisith Farm. Jupiter and James Greaves are just in season. They'll now last from now till mid-October, and they're just getting perfect. I'll do another one a bit later. But first, we have some music, as long as I can press the button and it works. This is medieval dance music.
was absolutely amazing, wasn't it? That was dedicated to the memory of Mike Edwards, a fantastic bass viol player who was a member of the Daughters of Elvin until his untimely death recently. He also used to play in ELO years ago. And that was Mirror It Is While the Summer Lasts, which is a non-English 18th century, and it's from the Daughters of Elvin's amazing first album, Garden of Earthly Delights, which you can order from their website or their MySpace. They are truly sensational, and we hope to have them as guests on the show at some point in the future.
But this show is about introducing the book we are going to be serialising over the next few weeks, probably stretching into March. The book in question was written by my good colleague over there, Widisith, and is called
Porlock the Warlock and the Indigo Swan.
Do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Well, partly it's we're doing it because it's a good introduction to the 10th century Exeter book, which will be featuring in more detail in future radio shows.
And in case you wondered why we are called Widisith and Deor, they are the two oldest poems in the English language, although they are probably written in Anglo-Saxon.
Well, yes, they are. Their names taken from the 10th century Exeter book of poetry, and they are scops or poets, scowls or storytellers from Anglo-Saxon times, thought to be fictional, but possibly Widisith at least maybe have been a title that was handed down. Widisith means far journey, and Deor means the bold, and this is from 7th century Mercia, Widisith. The maker's weird is to be a wanderer. The poets of mankind go through the many countries, speak their needs, say their thanks. Always they meet with someone in the Southlands or the North who understands their art. An open-handed man who would not have his fame fail among the guard, nor rest from an earl's deeds before the end cuts off light and life together. Lasting honour will be his, a name that shall never die beneath the stars. That was what some scholars believe to be the oldest poem in what we would now recognise as the English language, and it's still as beautiful today as it was then. The maker's weird is the poet's destiny, and it sums up their role in society, absolutely. And that was from the wonderful Michael Alexander translation from Anglo-Saxon of the poem called Widisith from the Exeter book.
So are you going to tell us more about what we're doing today in the introduction of Porlock the Warlock?
I am,
or do
yes.
you want me to crack on?
No, I shall talk a bit about the sources. Yes, as we've said before, we are a storytelling company, taking our names from ancient and inspiring sources and specialising in ancient stories like Icelandic sagas and Bronze epic. And that's why when we sat down to write a novel, it too wove together the story of some of these ancient texts, namely the 10th century, the fate of the 10th century, Exeter book with its 3 ancient famous marks of damage, and the 3rd millennium BC Epic of Gilgamesh. And it also draws on Dark Age Icelandic work like Egil Saga in the Elder Edda, and so it features Vikings as well.
So today we want to give you just a flavour of some of the texts, some of the performances, some of the stories that can get us going. Really starting with the Epic of Gilgamesh. What is the epic? Well, it was discovered written in ancient Akkadian on bricks, but it is thought to be mankind's oldest tale. It is a version of the flood and the fall and the Garden of Eden that are earlier than any traceable version in the Bible. It is mid-Bronze Age, the same time as Stonehenge was built. It tells of the story of the eponymous hero Gilgamesh, who's 2/3 god and only 1/3 man, of his trials, of his great friendship with Enkidu, a man made by the gods for his companionship to keep him out of mischief, of Enkidu's journeys with him, of their life and death together, of Gilgamesh's attempt to find eternal life and his failure. It is a very beautiful tale. But, epic as it is, the tale of his discovery is perhaps even more epic.
Yes, these sources have incredible tales surrounding them as actual artefacts. For millennia, the Epic of Gilgamesh remained absolutely buried because